Still water. One stone, then another. Where the ripples rise together, they reinforce. Where one rises as the other falls, they cancel. Those repeating bands of high water and quiet water are an interference pattern. The question is whether we can predict it. If you know where the sources are, can you say what shape the pattern will take? Those ripples are already fading. A stone gives the water one disturbance, and then it is done. For a pattern we can keep watching, replace the stones with two small wave makers. Each one moves the water up and down at a steady pace, so new ripples keep spreading outward. The white dots are the wave makers. From here on, I'll call each wave maker a source. Add more of them, keep them moving at the same rhythm, and their waves overlap across the whole field. Now I'm going to turn one instant of that wave field into a map. I'll color every place above the undisturbed water level as land, and every place below it as water. Where the surface crosses the undisturbed level, land meets water. That line is the coastline in our map. Now move through the field. Some patches connect, some separate, and some paths wrap around gaps and return to where they started. That last kind of path is what I mean by a closed route. You can go all the way around a gap and come back to your starting point. Routes like that are worth counting because stretching or shifting the pattern does not change how many there are. We can follow those changes by watching the peaks and the low passes between them. When a pass rises above the waterline, two pieces can join. Sometimes that same connection completes a closed route around a gap. When the pass stays underwater, the pieces on either side stay separate. With many sources placed without any special arrangement, the field gets complicated fast. Connections and closed routes appear all over the place. Now try something different. Start with one source and add the rest by a rule. Every source must sit in the same arrangement of neighbors as every other one. Nothing is allowed to be in a special position. The rule fills every position that satisfies it, and then it stops, because there is nowhere left to put another. 120. 12 nearest neighbors each, arranged the same way every time. Wait, we've seen this exact arrangement before. Those 120 positions are the vertices of the 600 cell, a four-dimensional solid built from 600 tetrahedra. This time, the 600 cell arrived at the end of the experiment. We got here from waves. Now, look at the lowest mode on that arrangement. A mode is one of the natural patterns the shape will hold, the way a drumhead has a lowest note and higher ones above it. At the lowest one, 120 separate regions appear, one around each source, with no closed routes. Look at the passes between neighboring peaks. They all sit below the waterline, so none of the pieces connect. Everything we are looking at is a flat slice through the field. At this mode, the slices agree. Wherever we cut, the pieces look separate. Raise the mode once. 600 new hills appear between the original sources, one for each tetrahedral cell. Now the slice becomes dangerous. It shows the field accurately, but only where the slice passes through it. Move the slice through the object. Pieces appear, disappear, split, and reconnect as different parts of the field enter the cut. Freeze it here. Watch one of the closed routes that happens to pass through this slice. Follow it all the way around the gap, and it comes back to where it started. A few others cross this slice too. The full object has 121 separate pieces. A single slice cannot reveal that by inspection. Those roots are real. They are only the ones this slice happens to cut through. Other connections sit just above it, or just below it. So the flat picture is accurate as far as it goes. It simply does not contain the rest of the object. Everything you've seen is one object. Until now, I've only shown you one cut through it. It was never flat. You were. Same field, same instant. Once the slice is gone, the 600 new hills connect underneath and behind it. Together, they form one connected piece. Across the whole object, there are 601 closed roots. The slice we froze happened to intersect 6 of them. The original 120 pieces stay separate. The 600 new hills make one additional connected piece. That gives 121. One mode higher, enclosed water begins to appear inside the land, lakes with a shore all the way around them. So the structure is exact. 120 pieces at the first mode, 121 at the next, with 601 closed roots. Scatter the sources instead of arranging them, and none of it comes out clean. We still do not know why the first mode comes out so clean. We tested 3 explanations, and none of them survived the tests. One last thing, and it is about the picture rather than the field. Keep the direction fixed and fly straight through the middle and out the far side. In the sphere this is a projection of, the 2 ends of that path are the same point. The line we just flew is a circle, and it closes. From inside the picture, there is no way to watch that happen, which is the same trouble we have had all the way through. The wave pattern is telling us about the geometry it lives in. Change the geometry, or the mode, and the pattern changes with it. This is the standing wave.